Welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda Lohnert.
And I'm still the precious Chuckalicious Chuck Williams.
And joining us this morning, Mrs. Brittany Levine. She's going to share how to save money, gift well, and come out ahead in 2024. The holiday season is here and upon us. And we were just talking off air a couple of minutes ago about, well, I guess we better get started on our Christmas shopping. And one thing that we always run into is the cost. And as the economy is still kind of sluggish, and since the days of the pandemic, prices have risen. Supply chain has been an issue. People have gone just deep into the hole and for a holiday, for gifts. And Miss Brittany's going to share with us some ways to stay on track so you can start 2024 a little ahead. Miss Brittany, welcome to the chat. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
First off, the hard conversation, especially when you have young children. We just found out Miss Brittany is a new mother. And how old's your little girl?
So I have a 2.5-year-old son and a 6-month-old right now. Yeah.
See, the good thing about the 6-month-old, they don't know it's Christmas, so you can kind of, everything else
Yes.
is
Right.
Like the baby.
But the 2-year-old, you're not passing by him on this
No,
one.
he knows the big guy's coming. Yes. But we
knows.
celebrate everything in our family. So he's excited about it all.
He's all ready for it. Now, we want our children to have what we didn't have. We want them to have a Merry Christmas. Sometimes we see people go overboard. And with a child today, with the cost of electronics and those sort of things, you can really get yourself in a hole. How do you set the limits and the budgets and have those tough conversations?
It's so true, right? And for me, I like to look ahead, especially when I know I'm going to be spending a lot more money this coming month. I like to try to set a budget for each person that's on my list, so I know what I'm going to be spending. But I also like to make sure I know that we have Black Friday coming up. We have Cyber Monday coming up. And that's when I like to plan my buys, when I know some of those items are going to be heavily discounted. And also, being upfront. It's as simple as it sounds, but we like to be upfront when it comes to what we're going to be giving each other. So my family, we always do like a white elephant gift exchange. We pick, out of a hat who gets who. And that's when we know that we're going to be actually spending the right amount of money. We set a budget and it helps everyone that way.
I just want to make a statement. Think about
Yes.
how many people would like to be called a shopping expert. I'm just thinking about all that she had to do shopping. That's
Yes.
crazy. Yeah. So, what about, trends?
Sure.
We always hear about the toy of the season, or the gadget of the season. And we used to see that all the time. I really haven't seen anything this year, but, how do you determine when you should splurge?
Sure. Well, a lot of trends we're seeing right now actually are stemming off of TikTok and social media. But I like to say, don't always fall into those traps, because if you're gifting someone, you want to make sure that it's something that's going to last them a long time, right? And the thought is there that counts. But you also want to make sure that you're treating yourself too, right? So while you're spending, while you're planning, Chime actually has their Credit Builder secured credit card. It really helps you tackle gift giving and give your credit at the same time an extra boost, because there's no fees, there's no interest. So you're building your credit on your own, and that helps raise your score. It all goes hand in hand.
When we're talking about trending,
Yes.
how do we know what's happening now is going to be what's happening 2 weeks from now? We don't, do we, or what?
Well, we don't necessarily know. And that's why I like to say, you definitely can see some of the things that are going to be popping off right now, like the TikTok trends, like the big water bottles that everyone's buying right now. It's my
Right.
emotional support water bottle. That's going to last you a really long time. Those flared leggings that all of the Gen Z girls are loving. I have them too. That's going to last you. And you also want to create experiences too. So for me, buying all of your family members the same gift works for me in terms of buying a great pajama set, buying a robe, something that's going to last them into the future.
And I think that's the problem we run into, a trend versus something staple, something you're going to use.
Sure.
it's okay to splurge on one or two something, unusual, but especially with kids, when you just get everything inside, I've seen cases where some kids never unwrap a present.
Yeah,
Because,
that's
Yeah.
true.
you know, because you just overindulge. It's too much. They'd rather probably have one or two things that they really cherish and want, besides
Exactly.
every little knick-knack and piece and this and that and that. And that's what we try to do. We try to overspend it.
Well, yeah, and I think it's important for your children to know too about what you're spending and what those budgets are, right? So we have all of those conversations up front as a family to know what mom works for, to know what dad works for. And actually, Chime this year has created a game called Dollars and Cents. So it's a table topic card game where the conversation about money is really put out there to make it really open, really honest and conversational. So you can play this game together as a family, learn about money, learn about all those things so that, yeah, it makes sense that what you're getting, there's a cost associated to it,
Right.
right?
Does Chime also, and do you say set a budget beforehand? Know a set amount that you plan on or you've allocated to spend for the holiday season?
Totally. And if you haven't heard of Chime, they're the number one most loved banking app out there. So they're really all about helping you safely build credit. They want to put money back in your account. So they want to make sure that you're buying safely and they want to make sure that they're helping you too. So that's what you're doing. You're planning ahead. You're really looking at some of those upcoming holidays and making a forecast for yourself.
How do you get your hands on the game that you were speaking of, Dollars and Cents, I believe it was called?
Yes. So Dollars and Cents is going to be available in Walgreens soon. So you can look out for that. And all of that information can be found on Chime's website, chime.com.
Most definitely. And one quick question for you. We talked about what are you seeing out there as a shopping expert? What's the hot it gift this year?
Yes.
We were asking this just yesterday. We couldn't figure it out.
Well, the hot gift, I mean, it depends on who you're buying for, right? So, but the hot gift is really stemming off a lot of these TikTok trends. I mean, we are seeing some of those trending beauty items. We're seeing some of those trending workout items, those tech gifts. I mean, that's what people are going after. And I love that, like I said before, the water bottle, the exercise leggings, things that you know are going to last you a longer time, your recipients are going to love.
It seems I'm not arguing with you. I still believe in giving the kid a bank book with $100 bill, with $100 bill in it. Is there anything wrong with doing that as an investment for the future?
Listen, I will never say you can go wrong with that, right? And if you start to budget and really make sure that you set aside that money for the future, I think that's a great, great idea. But if you are planning out your buys, it's something where you can do that alongside another gift that is really that your recipient's going to love.
Oh, okay.
Brittany, where can people contact you and find out more about these tips from you and Chime?
Sure. Well, like I said, you could go to Chime's website, chime.com, or you could head on over to my Instagram at Brittany H. Levine.
Surviving the holidays without debt. That's a great thing to do to run into January and not owe a ton of money. Some smart, intelligent ways to share and save money and have a less stressful holiday. Check out Brittany on her social media. She's a style and trend expert, surrounded by the hottest must-have fashion at a great price. And then go to Chime, the smart way to spend this holiday season. Miss Brittany, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, guys. Happy holidays.
See you
Have a
later.
great holiday. That's it. So, yeah, that's a great opportunity with Chime to not only